What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Sports Talk on Tap video. We're here. You can find daily videos Monday through Friday covering all the major sports leagues, NBA, NHL, NFL, you name it. We're here to talk about it. I'm Jake, and in today's episode, it's going to be a Timberwolves Talk on Tap episode where, obviously, as a Timberwolves fan, anyone who's watched the videos knows, very passionate Timberwolves fan. And, we've seen already a lot of coaching changes, player trades like the Thunderbolts yesterday being made. I figured I'd give an off-season look for the Timberwolves looking at the draft that's coming up in about a week or so, a little bit less than, or it's coming up very fast. And so in today's episode, I was kind of just going to go over three prospects, I'm hoping the Timberwolves look at, because Timberwolves, I think they have their established core. I've talked about, maybe a possible Carl trade, but they have their core established right now. So I kind of figured I'd look to see how can they get better through the draft, some of the player targets I want. And Timberwolves have picks 27 and 37, so a late first, early second rounder. And when I look at this, I'm just looking for, players that can immediately help the team. And that's the benefit of maybe drafting later than usual, because teams will go for project picks that have all this high potential, but the Timberwolves just need help immediately. So I'm looking for certified people that can just help in one area, certainly. And to start, they do have some opportunities with players like Luka Garza, Josh Minot, and Leonard Miller, and Jalen Clark, who won Defensive Player of the Year at UCLA in college 2 years ago, was injured towards ACL late in the season and missed all of this year. So some of those players alone could help if Leonard Miller, top pick from last year, take the leap. But with that being said, though, with these two picks, my first guy I want to talk about is Baylor Scheierman. Baylor Scheierman, I did watch a lot of Crane basketball, was a big college guy, trying to obviously hope for that perfect March Madness pick. Didn't quite work out, but Baylor Scheierman's a great player. Certified bucket getter, can score at all three levels. We've seen him hit three-pointers, mid-range, was very good at driving too, using cock burner as a good screen guy, and just getting down to the rim easy. And Rudy obviously is a great screen guy, and they just have a lot of good players. And I feel like he could be an immediate guy off the bench, give you 10 quick minutes, just get buckets. I think he'd be an immediate scorer that this team needs, because the team, Timberwolves, obviously ranked number one defense, but what slowed them down was their offense in the Western Conference Finals. And, even in the regular season losses, you could tell it was an offensive issue more than anything. So now, if you add Baylor Scheierman, guy that I feel like could immediately play in this league. And that'd go the same with his teammate, Trey Alexander, from Crane as well. Crane just had a lot of bucket getters, which is what I loved about them. They obviously fell short in the Sweet 16 to Tennessee, but they were just a great team, just buckets all around the floor. Similar to Alexander, very good in the mid-range, just, a shooter. And, immediate scores is what this team needs off the bench. The ones that can just give you that quick spark plug, don't need to play 25-plus minutes, can just, make an immediate impact when necessary. And, just those Crane dudes alone, I'd be very happy with just some quick scoring. But they could also go the other way. A pick at number 37 that I wouldn't mind is my team. I'm a big Houston Cougars basketball fan, and it's reported that they've been working out Jamal Shed. And I love Jamal Shed. As a guy, he can't really shoot from three, was a career 29% free throw shooter. Was decent from the mid-range, did take a lot of mid-range shots, so it wasn't the best efficiency-wise, but could make those. But it's just tenacity on defense, great passer. He just knew how to run, was the best point guard on arguably the best team in the country. They arguably could have won the championship. I know UConn dominated their way, but they were up by on Duke by 10 points before he got injured. And if they win that game, then who knows what happens. But he was obviously a great point guard. Very defensive first, so it'd be a little bit different. But if you get Baylor Scheierman at 27, get offense, then go even more defense with a guy that can just take care of the ball. If you lose Jordan McLaughlin, could replace that Jordan McLaughlin role. If you need someone to just stir the drink, play some aggressive defense, get some steals, that'd be the guy. And I would really like to see Jamal Said go from my favorite college team to my favorite NBA team. I mean, that'd be awesome to see. Just, an all-around great dude too. Was a great leader for that Houston team. And you could tell once he went out of that game, everything kind of fell apart. So, those are just kind of, a couple of the first guys, that I thought of. Obviously, there's that Justin Edwards guy from Kentucky. That'd also be a good fit. But I'm looking more so backcourt. And that brings me to my last guy that I'll talk about today. Marquette point guard Tyler Kolak. That's his name. Very obviously a great passer, was great on that Marquette team, leading them to top two seeds in the last two tournaments for Marquette. And he just could do a little bit of everything. Score, averaged like 15 points per game at Marquette, but was a great passer and just, could kind of do it all. Point guard for Shaka Smart in that team. And when he went down with injury late in the year, you could tell that Marquette team wasn't the same. So I'd be excited to see him on this team because one of the biggest concerns is Mike Conley played a lot last year, and you could see the wear and tear on his body at the end of the season. He's going to be entering his age 37. You can't rely on him playing 70-plus games again. You need to find a good backup point guard option, and Tyler Kolek could be just exactly that right fit. I'd love to see him. He would just be, one of the great fits for this team to just come in, play 15 minutes, just straight good point guard backup. And, you just need more depth there because Mike Conley, as good as he is, once again, is entering another year older, is getting up there in age. You don't want him playing that ideal time, maybe not even starting full time again, because we saw at the end of the year, he was dealing with an injury, and that's ultimately, he missed one game with Denver and then, was injured against Dallas in that game 5, and he just only played like 10 minutes. It was something brutal. So you need that point guard reassurance. That'd be good, especially if you lose Jordan McLaughlin, Monte Morris. We don't know what's happening there. Do they re-sign him? So they need a point guard somehow, whether it's, through the vet minimum thing, because they also might lose Kyle Anderson. So there's a lot that could happen here. But, just to get that, I'd feel confident with Tyler Kolek on this team. I feel like he'd be a great fit and a great addition to this locker room that obviously has all right going for them on the court. Off the court, the ownership stuff is just getting even more crazier. So, that's for another debate. But the Timberwolves, have two big picks here to try and get them over the hump. Did they use those two to trade up? Because there were rumors Isaiah Collier's falling in the draft. Did they use those to get him, who was at one point projected the number one guy in mock drafts like a year ago? So that'd be something crazy if they could get him. Then this kind of changes the whole dynamic. So Tim Connolly, though, obviously redid his contract to stay in Minnesota for at least another year. I'm just excited to see what he does because I trust him. All the right moves he's made. The Chris Gobert trade, even me, that turned out to be great. Led them to a 56-win season, number one defense, arguably the best season in Timberwolves franchise history. So, that alone might have made worth it, plus whatever you get from him the rest of your time here. The Mike Conley trade was great, getting rid of D'Lo's contract and just, getting a good locker room leader. Mike Conley has only been a benefit to this team. Getting Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a great 3-and-D player. Not so much in the Mavericks series, but was great most of the year. So that's alone another great benefit, and they were able to re-sign him. And just, his draft picks, we still need to wait on Jalen Clark and stuff like that. But, I just trust what he's done. He's made all the right moves mostly, even at the trade deadline. Monte Morris was able to help a little bit, even though it was kind of disappointing. He was still, out of a little bit out of shape, rebounding from injury. But, he admitted his faults with shining Shake Milton and just isn't afraid to make moves quickly, which is what I like about him. But, they're not panic moves. They're high quality, thought about moves. And so whatever happens, like I said, if you make sure to check out our NBA podcast here, we just talked about news. We might be doing a live stream for the NBA draft, which will be exciting. So you guys can see my live reaction to the Timberwolves pick. But should be exciting. Once again, a couple of names: Baylor Shireman, Trey Alexander, Jamal Shed, Tyler Kolek, a couple of names that came to my mind when thinking about who I want the Timberwolves to draft. But no matter who they do, I'll root for them, hopefully be excited about them. But it should be good. But with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. I'll catch you next one. Peace out.